The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
We are rolling, I assume.
Your mic is really high and large and in charge in your face.
Bring it down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, today, as we record this on Thursday, we have a really cool show coming up, something we've never done before, so it's going to be neat. I'll tease you there a little bit. But today we had a situation in town where an officer was shot. He's okay. Was taken to the hospital. We're still waiting to hear about the guy who actually did the shooting. We know he was shot as well by another officer. The officer who was wounded was Matt Hermsmeyer, who we all know. And our prayers, of course, to him and his family. It sounds like he's good, though. He's okay. Non-life-threatening injuries. Right. That's what the QPD said. So, best of luck to him. And again, this is why when people bitch about pensions or people bitch about stuff like that, these guys, they never know. They never know if some knucklehead is going to whip a gun out on them. So, and the firefighters got to rush into burning buildings. So these guys, it's always, you can always say that what you want to say, but then when you really need them, this is the time you think about. No, okay, good job. I don't want your job.
Yeah. No, that's what I was going to say. I think, what was it, last time an officer was shot in the line of duty was 2011?
2011 in Liberty. It was Tom Miller. He was out there, and his belt buckle saved him.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
He got shot in the belt buckle.
What are the statistics? I mean, I don't know, but like for Quincy police, isn't it like something only 10 Quincy police officers have been shot in the line of duty since like the 1800s.
It's a low number.
Really? It's like since the 1800s is the statistic out there.
I want to be one of those.
Well, absolutely not. But like that just goes to show this is not something
it's unheard of, which is a good thing.
Yeah, but
unfortunately, the overall feeling that I get is that this won't be the last time.
Yeah.
Right? Because it just seems like I don't know. I feel like people just don't value other people's lives as much anymore. Or maybe it's like they have nothing to lose. I don't know whatever the reason is. It's unfortunate. It's very, very fortunate that he is going to survive. This is the officer. I just can't imagine putting myself in those shoes or being the spouse or family member of an officer today alone, let alone, hearing things like this. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it really puts everything in perspective. So, yeah. Whatever it was that was with him on his side today, we're thankful for that.
And again, he's been a member of the force a long time. He's got 3 kids, and I know a couple of them were my youngest son's age, and I know he's got a younger daughter. So, just get well, get healthy, all that good stuff. Definitely you're like I said, this is one of those days where I think they earn their pay most days, but this is definitely one of those days. And it's nothing to mess around with. And again, like you said, it just seems there's a lot more stupidity.
It is.
And a lot of knuckleheads out there right now.
Unnecessary.
Who's going to do dumb stuff.
Yeah. Right.
So
it's
don't.
Unfortunate.
I wish they would quit.
Right.
But this seems to be the point where we are in the world these days.
You know what though? Let me say this, because we always talk about the world being a dumpster fire, right? And although there are things on the grand scale, like 10,000 feet view, the world is a dumpster fire. But if you walk outside and you're walking around and talking to your neighbors, and it just doesn't feel like that locally, so something like this is a little extra shocking, right? Sure. Because there are stupid things going on everywhere in the world and a lot of questionable things. But I think as a whole, Quincy is still a very tight knit community. And, even after this happened, everybody on social media is putting back the blue. And you can really see where, Quincy we still have that strong community feel, and we're all here looking out for one another. And we shouldn't let a few bad eggs ruin that entire perspective that we have. So, don't let it jade your thoughts about Quincy or your community or your neighbors, because, by and large, we are a fantastic small knit community. And I think we will remain that way, even when stupid shit like this happens. So, thoughts, prayers, vibes, whatever you think, send them to the Hermsmeyer family and, to the family of the guy who committed the crime, right? We don't want to say, God bless him or whatever, but there's always circumstances, and you never want to be put in that circumstance. So I just think, his family's probably suffering as well. So let's throw some vibes and thoughts out to them too. So
On a happier note, what do you think of little Brittany?
Oh yeah, thank you so much for that. That is funny. That is cute. I like that. I appreciate that.
Okay, so just real quick, the Brittany representation on the table, she was missing from this table for a really, really long time.
I wasn't missing.
And I couldn't think of something. I mean, I had a couple different ideas, but I couldn't bring it to fruition. So this popped up on my Etsy, and I was like, yep. Then I just had to find a picture. So I went through your profiles because I was like, I don't want to pick something that she wouldn't like. But then when I got it, I was like, oh, maybe she won't want this. But I think it's beautiful, and you're beautiful.
Is
and
it not conservative enough? And I said, excuse me.
Well, okay, because you never know. I mean, I see your selfies in the mirror all the time, and I love them, and I love the self-confidence, and but there's always that thought in the back of your head, like, oh God, did I screw this up?
No,
Should I have done something different?
You are the perfect gift giver. Thank you, and thank you for my other gifts.
Well,
too.
you're very welcome.
So
A little late on the Christmas gifts, but better late than never, right?
You know who was not late though to back this up to the story. We were the first on it, I feel like, or one of the first on it. And in the process of this, between David and Bob, they got some phone calls, and Bob and I were out doing some ad work, and so he had to drop me back off to my house real quick. We were carpooling since it was, I don't know, my Prius doesn't get around as well as I like to think it does, but I still think I'm this badass Quincy snow driver. Anyway, so he's dropping me off, and we sorry.
This is amazing.
It's okay.
No, this is amazing. I have a question.
In the process of this, he backed out into my mailbox, but didn't even know he was backing out into my mailbox until the FedEx driver says, hey. And the best part about it is my ring picked the whole thing up. And the audio on it is clear.
Oh my gosh.
AF.
It's amazing.
Oh, it is so great.
Yeah.
So I gotta say,
so we'll commit a federal offense to get to the scene. You had to get to the office to edit the story.
I had 1,000 things going through my head.
I get it.
And
yes,
I had pulled up into your driveway, close the door so you didn't have far to walk.
Yes.
And then I cut it back too far, and I thought, I'm just stuck in the snow. But
no, it was the mailbox.
Guys, it's the mailbox.
You're not the first person to hit my mailbox. But then again, I don't get it because my driveway is huge.
Well, the ground was nice and soft. I propped it right back up. But if there's any other repairs, I will pay for them.
Part of Mike's summer projects is to get a nice sturdy brick mailbox.
Yeah, I won't hit that one.
So
if you do,
when
that
it does
won't be
happen,
as easy to bounce back from. You'll know it.
No, I was just like.
So I gotta ask:
Are we gonna plug the video?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Sure.
Also, Target window mishap or mailbox mishap, because
no kidding.
Oh no, the Target one was much
which
more
one's worse?
Embarrassing. Just because of the kids who were out there and watched me, and it was so public. And
now this one's going to be so
the
public.
Cascade of coffee onto the glass, and that was
He told me that I thought he was telling me that I was going to have to get out there and push. I go, and I'm yelling, no, I'm in heels. He goes,
you drive, the FedEx guy and I, or UPS, whatever it was, we will push. You got to just push the gas and go. And it was a couple of shoves, and we got to go on and got in the driveway. So,
here's what I'll say. Okay, so let's tie these both together. Okay, so not that the shooting again is not anything to make light of, but I did notice some comments on there like that people have Ring cameras to see what's going on. Let's beware of spreading rumors and talking without knowing the news until we report it, because there are some serious stakes here, but there are people talking about Ring cameras, right? So good, bad, and ugly, these Ring cameras. I will say I am really, really, really freaking happy they weren't around when I was young, because my God, the footage that you would see from my younger days, pretty damning. We'll say that. Leave it there. But I mean, again, good, bad, and ugly, Ring cameras, they capture it all. So
Great.
Yes, I know.
Great.
I think, like, on a different note with the Ring camera thing, it's kind of, if you're looking into getting those, it is strange to think, like, okay, for Ring, that's on a server that everyone can see. The new thing that I think people want that for, like, privacy reasons is a security camera on your own server. You know, like all those big companies, when it's on that server, it's for everyone. So even if I wanted to keep it to myself, Bob, Ring has that.
And it's going to be on like Fail
YouTube.
Army.
Yeah.
I can't wait. This is going to be awesome. No, but hopefully we can show the video because it's pretty freaking amazing. Kind of like our next guest. He's one of a kind, one of my favorite people. And as Bob mentioned, this is a first for Muddy River News. And I'm really, really excited about this. And Bob, you don't get to sit in on it, sorry, but you do get to
sit back and listen.
You get to spectate, which this is.
Listen.
Yeah.
And you're related to this person?
Yeah, who aren't I related to, but this is definitely one of my favorites, and I know everyone's going to enjoy it. I know a lot of people, especially in Quincy, have been able to enjoy his talent in the past, and I can't wait to bring that to anyone who hasn't yet and kind of remind people how talented he is with this episode. So. Right.
I will let you guys enjoy it. I'll enjoy it in the background, and we'll be right back.
That'd be awesome.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
A&B Properties is Quincy's largest apartment rental company with hundreds of units available. They offer short-term and long-term rentals with 1 up to 4 bedroom apartments. A&B Properties meets the needs of its tenants with care, compassion, and a quality of service that exceeds expectations. A&B Properties also has a convenient tenant app for you to do your payments or make repair requests. Give them a call today. A&B Properties, 217-919-8080, Quincy.
Means you can't miss a beat. No pause in exertion is seething the outcome to be. But up on the top of the hill, to the edge of the road, through the green and the trees, in through the rays and the dust and debris, an exceptional sighting convenience. Looked all around. There was something inside I could see. It was the calm rhythm of the waves in tune. Autumn's mellow days in bloom. Pinks and reds and orange in blue. Exertion is seething the outcome to be. We loathe and we love. lay in our likeness, happily living there, too blind to see what's standing before us is no place that I need to be. But up on the top of the hill, through the edge of the road, to the green and the trees, into the rays and the dust and debris, an exceptional sight and convenience. I looked all around, there was something inside I could see. It was the calm rhythm of the waves in tune. Autumn's mellow days in bloom, pinks and reds and orange in blue, a masterful design for you.
Very good.
What kind of shows will you see on Muddy River Gems each month? The same award-winning storytelling from Mark McDonald and crew that you enjoyed for nearly 20 years on PBS. Muddy River Gems with host Mark McDonald. A new episode every month online from Muddy River News.
And what you just heard there is the amazing talent of my friend and family, Logan Kammerer, right? So I will say, when I think you had the idea to bring him on, I'm a little embarrassed that it wasn't me, because you are, by and large, one of my favorite people on the face of
wasn't
this.
judging who was invited.
Good.
At all, no worries.
Good. So she had this great idea, first time for Muddy River News, to bring on
First
a
musical guest.
and you did not disappoint.
Thanks.
You're
I'm
welcome.
happy to be invited and be here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I just want to ask, I think I already know a lot of these answers. I did mention we're family, so I think we're third cousins, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. It's distant, but not that distant, because we have family reunions, and all of Quincy is there. You know, everybody always says, how many people are you invited or related to or not related to? And I'm like, you know,
It's like
we're related to
Alabama.
basically.
Yeah, most of the population
most,
around
most
here.
everyone here, yeah.
Absolutely.
But again, you are one of my favorites, and of course, your talent is it's just unmatched in my opinion. And I think I know the answers to these questions, but let me go ahead and ask this one: musical inspiration, or how did you get started?
Oh, my grandma
Yes.
played guitar, and she taught me a few chords, and then after that, it was kind of game on.
How old?
I was like 13, 14, 15. I probably didn't get real interested until 15, 16. But
Yeah.
First guitar came for Christmas, that year before I turned 16. So
and
The
then
rest
it was
is history.
on.
yeah,
from
and then I
there.
just spent most of my time in there, covering music and trying to figure things out on my own. And my grandma wore a rainbow guitar strap, so for a while I sported kind of the same rainbow one, and then I decided, well, it's time for me to find my own. So
Yeah.
I found some handmade company somewhere across the world. I don't know where they are, but
And we're talking Grandma Jan. So I remember, so his grandma and my grandma were sisters, and they lived down the street from one another for quite some
yes,
time.
they did.
And I remember walking into, so my side of the family, just to be clear, did not get any musical talent. So if you ask me to sing, you're just,
it all went
it
to
all
that
went
side.
to this whole family. And which, I mean, they really have capitalized on it. So I think it's amazing. But I remember walking into your grandma's house, and there was a specific room like dedicated to all the musical instruments. Like there were bongos and guitars, and it struck me because it was just one of those things where you knew the environment. You knew what it was going to breed, and then here you are, right? I mean, there was really no option.
Violin sitting on the table. Nobody knew how to play it, but boy, we'd pick it up and put some fake licks down.
It was awesome.
We'd really try.
Really make people cry.
Yeah, we'd really give it a good
I'm telling
effort.
you. And we had baby showers and bridal showers, and all the aunts would get up and sing these incredible songs, and I'm like, are you going to make me get up?
Everybody. Well, you just got to join in the fun.
Yeah. So that's kind of where, like you just said before we came on camera, you just like to throw down some licks and see what comes, right? Like you just
just like listening to the noises around. I think, and I've got 4 kids who absolutely love.
So
music.
they make noises.
So that but we've got a piano. One plays the cello, one plays drums. They can all kind of play piano, and they just.
Did you teach them?
They make plenty of noise. No.
No?
I'm not a teacher. I can't. I don't know, because I can't explain notes. I can't read music. That's not something I can do.
Oh, really?
No,
you can't read music at all?
Well, I could fake it, I guess, if there was a gun to my
There
head.
are a lot of musicians that are like that,
But
That's
it's all by ear, and just kind of like you said, I'll go downstairs into my music room and make one noise, and then 25 minutes later I will have been jamming, on that one noise that turned into 25 different things. But I don't know. I like to listen to my surroundings and make music.
It's very natural. You can tell that. And I
fun.
love listening to it. So you mentioned 4 kids.
Tell us their names because that's the best part.
They're gorgeous.
Aria's 12, Everly's almost 11, Hugo is 8, and Lyra is 5.
And those are all references.
They've got some kind of music involvement. Yes. I suppose Hugo may not. His name means bright of mind and spirit, and
it's perfect for him.
Yeah, that is a really well-fitting name for him.
Yeah. I mean, all your kids are gorgeous, and let's not forget to mention Mackenzie.
I was going to say, probably because of his gorgeous banging wife.
Yeah, she is.
She's probably the most patient person, too.
She's patient. She's
I
beautiful.
tend to disappear and go do music for a while, and, she'll be laying in bed. I'll come back, and she'll say, well, where have you been? I thought you were walking the dog.
Yeah.
I said, well, I heard a whisper coming from the other room. I had to go grab the guitar. Yeah. The guitar was like, hey, come on in.
Get over here, Logan.
Yeah, I need you. Yeah.
So music has been a part of your life, like you said. Well, I mean, always, really, let's be honest. But your love for it started at a fairly young age when, I think most people are going through kind of a pivotal moment of finding themselves. In my opinion, and you tell me, during those formative years of, 13, 14, 15 and onward, music, you get inspiration from everywhere you look, right? So what do you think, outside of like your upbringing and your grandma and of course your parents who are, amazing as well, what do you think what would you say is your biggest musical inspiration?
Probably my ears, being able to hear it.
Hear
being
something.
able to hear it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Question.
And that takes a long, that's like a talent in itself.
Right.
Ear training and learning how that works.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea how it works.
I think that's
natural.
Is that a training, like to hear something, or is that a talent?
I'm sure there's a combination.
Yeah.
I would say talent. I can hear things and be like, oh.
Yeah.
Or, oh, that's nice. But there's no way I could sit down and be like, oh, I think I could
make
write
it
a
up.
song.
Yeah, do it yourself. Absolutely.
No, not happening.
Formative years, though, when I first discovered or met Logan Kammerer, it was we went to the same parish. We grew up in the same parish of St. Peter's Church. My parents are still very involved there. I think most of your family is. When I first discovered you were playing with both your grandma and your grandpa.
Yeah.
And I don't know, a 15-piece band.
Yeah, there were a lot of people up there.
This was the biggest church band for St. Peter's, at least, or for any Catholic congregation at the time. Granted, it was like the mid-'90s, maybe late 90s.
Sure.
And, I don't know. I remember that was a reason why the 1040 Mass was popping, was because...
I remember that.
Because Logan Kammerer and his family...
It's true.
...had the church clapping,
Yeah.
doing things that like
that was
the Catholic
Jan
Church
Failer.
did not.
Yeah,
Who?
Jan
that was
Failer,
all
that's his grandma.
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
but
that
like
was all
still,
her.
I mean, I swear, young people got involved because of you.
I have no doubt.
I guess, yeah. So did the church influence your music in any way?
I think
and
that- Go ahead.
do you still like have an influence from it? Or I don't know. Does it
Sure.
affect
I
anything?
think I think playing at St. Peter's when I was 16, 17, 15. I
don't remember exactly the age.
But it was a time when my grandma was like, "Hey, show up on Sunday and play with me. You're going to learn chords. You're going to learn rhythms. You're going to learn how to play with each other. With other musicians. You're going to hear the music." I think one important thing was being able to hear the other musicians and the other vocalists.
Yeah.
If you can hear them, well, then by golly, just fit in with it.
Yeah.
So you were
Right.
just
And that's the
learning
job.
when you were doing that?
Sure, yeah, trying to read the chords as fast as I could and jumble my fingers on the old neck there. Yeah, it was fun.
It's outstanding.
Absolutely.
Really, it's incredible to stand back and look at. So, your mom, Laura, she plays the piano, keyboard. I mean, she's very musically inclined as well.
Fine musician.
Okay, in Luke and I's wedding, his sister Corey sang. His mom played. I mean, it's incredible to just stand back and be like, "How the hell did you guys get all the talent?" Well, I'm not mad at you. No, I'm kidding. I'm a little mad. No, I'm kidding. But it's like, seriously, if you stand back and watch everyone in that family come together, it is like something.
But your
otherworldly.
Christmases are pretty
It's
cool.
They're fun.
Unreal.
Is it like a
my
movie
grandma,
scene?
Oh, well, it's fun for sure. So my grandma, she passed away 10 years ago, October. But one of the last kind of jam sessions we had in that house, I mean, we were all a little older, but I grabbed a guitar, and like you said, there's congas nearby. We were in their living room, and we just started playing stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually, guess what happens?
Yeah.
It starts to sound like a song. And then before you know it, the whole family, my Aunt Kendall, Uncle Tom, everybody's playing, we're just making noise. And we're having fun and we're having fun. We're making music.
Definitely a family
And
affair.
Yeah, it is. It's always been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and growing up, I mean, I grew up spent some time at 14th and Payson in a house there on the corner, and my mom had the music to the Oliver movie, and just full beautiful musical.
Yeah.
And so I would sit next to her, and she would play piano, and I would sing in this 6-year-old high-pitched little Oliver voice.
Perfect.
And I loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd play. I sang Puff the Magic Dragon. That was one of the favorites she would play, and I'd sing. Yeah. So.
Now this
I
is the Yellow
suppose-
House with the pineapples. Is this right?
This is,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was thinking,
Well,
I was
when
like,
we lived
okay.
there, it was
No,
gray.
It was
but
gray, yeah. But now,
yes.
yeah, it was a Yellow House with pineapples, and I remember that because I was like, I remember going over there and trying to play the guitar. No, just sit down, Ashley. Let them tackle it. But yeah,
How often or how many times a day do you practice?
I
Because you were
try
out
to-
here just strumming
Yeah,
along the whole
sure.
time, but like how often do you
Sure.
practice?
I try to pick it up at least once a day, and it might be for 20 minutes, might be for 2 hours. But I think I'm doing myself a little disservice if I don't just pick it up and at least say hi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And my kids are getting that idea too. They'll practice their drums and cello.
Yeah.
And, we stuck some music books on the piano, and they'll open them up, and they can read music, which is something that I'm really happy
They
they
can
do.
teach you.
Yeah.
They can
Well,
teach
yeah, they can teach me, absolutely. I'd love to learn.
I
Yeah.
mean, they emulate what they see. So good on you and Mackenzie for being. I mean, you do a lot of art. I know you do a lot of giving. You guys are very
Sure.
charitable. So your kids are no doubt going to grow up around that and learn from you, which I think is amazing. Another thing that I think is outstanding. So I asked you how many bands you'd been in, and I know Fielder is like it's
Sure,
the
that
good.
happened.
It's the good
Yeah,
one. It's a big
that
one,
happened,
right?
yeah.
And that was so my brother-in-law was also in that band. I just feel like it's all around me, and
It's
yet
just
I'm just
a
like
Quincy
right?
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's you guys have done so many shows in the community for good reasons, for fundraising. I think you guys did a show. Was it like the first street the street
Oh,
thing
sure.
here.
6th
Street Promenade. Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah,
It was
is.
outstanding. And I think it even started to rain, and you guys kept going. It was just
Oh, it was
outstanding.
cold. It was like
Yeah.
an October
Yeah.
day, and
But you showed up
boy,
anyway.
it was cold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we showed up and had.
So
a-
now, who
had a
was
good
all
old time.
infielder? You, Chris Cornwell.
Chris Cornwell, Alex Tappy, Matt Lawless, and Scott Smith. Yeah,
And how long
we
were you
had
guys?
we had after Chris left playing drums, then
Yeah.
we had Dave Stegeman playing drums. So
There you
yeah,
go.
we didn't miss a beat there either. So
Are you guys still playing? Sorry.
no,
No.
no.
Now you're just playing, you said, with friends here
Yeah,
and there
right. I'll
by
invite
yourself.
some friends and just play solo gigs. A lot of it's dinner style gigs. So
Yeah.
I sit in the corner and people notice I'm there when they're leaving. or
They
when they're
notice,
arriving.
trust
Oh,
me, they noticed
Pshaw.
that.
You were
Yeah.
at the Armory for their thing, and it was awesome.
Everyone notices
Yeah.
Well,
when you're there.
I'm very appreciative.
You're very
of
humble.
that,
But and what you said, good for emulating good things. One of the things was what I said before, practice.
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
people don't understand that it takes practice. You're not just going to be magically awesome. Kids these days are seeing the stuff on social media, and they want to be that right away. And then when they're not that right away, they drop it or they're disappointed.
Yeah.
The biggest thing in our house that Mike says to Mela when she's practicing, what do they say about musicians that don't practice? And she says, nothing.
That's right.
It's true.
It's
true.
That's the saying in
It
our
is
house.
true. And
Yep.
I think, social media makes everything look easy. Whether you're scrolling and they're like, you want to make easy money?
Yeah.
Duh, who doesn't, right? Do you want to look at this. If you buy this, you can be this awesome musician. If you click follow, you can make all this extra money. It's like, okay, let's be real. You didn't come up from nowhere. You were raised on music. You had dedication. You had
Everyday
discipline,
practice.
and you still
Yeah,
have it.
practice
So
every
yeah,
day.
it's
Like, I don't think people understand. It's like, it's just not going to happen unless you do it every single day.
Yeah,
Right.
It can be with music, can be with sports. It doesn't
Anything.
matter what
Anything.
you're doing.
Speaking of
Yeah.
sports, you have a little sportster.
oh boy.
Okay.
Which sports?
Well, I know you have a lot.
You let me
Actually, the
know.
one that I remember or know is because she's my daughter's age.
Yeah, Aria.
But the soccer star, what are your thoughts? So here on Muddy River News, there will be a big story coming up about soccer in the
tri-states.
in the tri-states in the
Sure.
local area because of the Quinsippy thing in the Park District and
Yeah.
whatnot. Does Aria play traveling right now?
Yep.
So
Yep.
what are your thoughts on bringing just like Quinsippy back and stuff like that?
Weren't you a
we've
soccer
had,
star as well?
I was not a star.
No,
Come
but
on.
he's a coach.
I
he's
was a
step-up
soccer
coach.
player.
He played. And
Oh, really?
yes, and I feel like he was
I
really good.
was
Okay,
not.
go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
no.
Anyway,
I just
thoughts
played.
on
No, I think soccer's
Yeah.
great. I think we need more. We need more opportunities to play it around here. We've played Slica with Monarchy FC,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to St. Louis every other weekend,
Mm-hmm.
every weekend, and we've got Aria, our oldest, and then Everly and Hugo. All
Oh,
three
so
of them
they're
play.
all soccer stars.
Yeah, well, no, they're soccer players. Yeah, but so we'll travel to St. Louis and go watch 4 games real fast,
Mm-hmm.
and then come home and maybe go back on Sunday the next day. And
Oh,
do
wow.
it again with another kid with 2 games.
How
But
cool would it be
it's
to
a
keep
blast.
that here, though?
I
into,
think having the soccer complex could make a big difference for local soccer.
Agreed.
But maybe we've already been down this road,
Yeah.
20 years ago, where maybe it was moving in the right direction, and eventually.
I think it's like
kinda
anything else.
dwindled.
If you dedicate yourself to it, if you had a group of people dedicated to it, it could work. But it is a lot of work, and everyone's busy, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, well, you have to pick and choose what you want to focus on, what you want your discipline to be. But I do think it would be nice to have not just soccer, but sports in general, because
Sure.
we are a very sportsy city.
I want to see more kids practice more
Yeah.
things, like
More
you just
kids,
said.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think even
Just
a place,
practicing
just a
something.
place downtown, it can be one of these old buildings. It doesn't matter what it is, but it needs to be, restored or made into a facility where any kid from any direction
Yeah.
can just kind of walk in and, hey, I've got 50 cents, or hey, I've got $1. Can I have a membership for this
Right.
week? That kind of thing. Or hey, here's a canned good, can I get in?
Yeah, like
and
Fast Tracks
practice?
is doing that.
Exactly
Yeah,
like that.
that's
Exactly
awesome.
like that.
Hey, I think I hear your next calling.
No.
Come on, look.
But I
No.
mean, if
But
it's
it's great.
available, if it's available to kids, and
Well,
then they're gonna have just better options in the future.
That,
you know?
and then
Agreed.
the future of our community is better is the biggest thing. I don't know.
Bringing more people in for different events. Sure.
I think that's one of the things that, you know, we talked about. I'm not a hunter, right? I'm definitely not a sportser, although that is one of my resolutions is to fall into that because Claire is now doing volleyball, so I'm trying to get more into that. But I really think that, you know, embrace what you're good at, and our youth, they are great at competitive sports. Yeah. I mean, for some reason, Quincy just breeds them. Maybe it's like
that weird water, I
right?
guess.
Or it's the discipline of the parents, right? So I think the same about music. Like there is the music studio down here, Manhart Music. But I wish there were more of that, you know, embrace it, kind of not push your kids into it, but encourage them to do these things, whether it starts at home or, you know, like.
I think you do kind of have to push your kids into these
You
things
do.
because otherwise they're
Motivation.
just going to get
Introduce
sucked
them,
into
right?
Sure. It's
just-
easy. It's easy to get
the
sucked
phone
into something.
or into something else, and like it's easy to parent that way.
Yeah.
So as parents, we need to push practice for something,
Sure.
practice for music, practice
Sure.
for sports. Like, if we want to be a successful community, it starts with making our kids practice something.
Right.
And educating people.
Oh,
about
absolutely. Yeah.
Even just, you know, simple respect education,
Oh,
that kind of
yes.
stuff. And, you know, putting on your listening ears and closing your mouth and just taking the information.
Every once in a while, that's a good thing.
And kind of go from there.
So, in your home, we already know that you pick up your guitar, and you know we know Mackenzie is always busy and
Constantly,
you know, constantly
teacher
just
brain
yeah, she
and
is.
mom
She's
brain.
just
She's
so good,
the best.
And she always constantly thinks about other people, and I couldn't say enough good things about her.
Yes,
But
she does.
can you give me like can you give us a glimpse into like the Kammerer household on a daily basis? Like, what does it look like?
Look at his face.
Because I know okay, so you have 4 children, right? You are in
Yeah.
the music industry. Mackenzie is definitely an educator through, like, it's in her blood, right?
Sure,
so what does
she
it look
is
like on a daily
natural
basis?
giver.
She
yeah,
is.
of her time
Yes.
and energy and
She
everything.
is.
Yeah. You know, typical day. I don't know. Wake up early enough where it's still dark, and we've got a 2-year-old standard poodle, Banjo, and so I got to take him on a walk.
Okay.
And that's just, you know, if I don't do that for him,
What time does that
he's going to be very
happen?
disappointed.
Oh, yeah.
It's usually around 6 o'clock. We'll go out and walk about a mile, and then we come back. We do that again at the end of the day. But, you know, then get kids up, ready for school. And, you know, Mackenzie takes Aria to junior high and takes Lyra to her with the Montessori school. And I take care of the other 2, and we wait for the
You
bus.
make it
hop on
happen.
the
Make it
bus, yeah.
happen.
But
I love
that's
it.
a typical school day,
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays or weekdays, you know, if we're all home. Gosh, it's hard saying. We'll play board games, play chess. I won't say we won't play a little Nintendo Switch every now and again.
We're not judging.
Yeah, that's fun.
No, but
We enjoy Wheel
What's
of
your
Fortune
favorite game
too. At
on
night.
the Switch?
Oh my god.
You know, I just like playing FIFA soccer
Okay,
on
there
Switch.
you go.
See?
Yeah.
See? That's how
Yeah.
it starts. Okay, now do any of your kids, so I know that they're playing and they're looking at sheet music and they can read, but what instruments do you think that they're gravitating towards, if any?
Oh, they all gravitate towards the piano right now.
Really?
Which I think it's important because that's just in the house.
Yeah.
You know, if
Sure.
it's available to
Yeah.
them, they just hop on the bench and they start
Yeah.
playing something.
Is it true that, like, if you know how to play the piano, like, that's the first? I don't really know.
I know that
People
for,
start
you
there.
know, for percussionists, they like them to have background in piano. Piano's kind of a combination percussion string instrument, you know. And so they like that background, but you know, we started
Just
them with
whatever.
piano. So
Yeah.
Aria plays the cello, and she's
That's
really digging that.
impressive.
She started as, you know, really wanting to play the bass, the upright bass, and I was all for
Hell
that.
yeah.
Mela wanted that too,
And-
and I said, "Nuh-uh,
Really?
we were not."
Oh.
That's funny.
Man, yeah, that she
Hauling
really wanted
that
to do
back
it.
and
It's
forth?
large, yeah, it's
Yeah.
large. So she'll play the electric bass at home, and she has adapted her, you know, her ear and her fingers and her mind to kind of play electric bass, and then she can still play the piano and then switch over to the cello. So I think it's, you know, if you give them the opportunities to do it and they want to do it, they'll figure it out.
That's
At
so
least for my children that
Do you
have
know any
an
other
ear like
instruments?
that. I will give every instrument an opportunity.
Really?
I will fake it all day long. Yes.
Okay, so what's your second? best playing? Or that
I
you
can
do?
fake a piano, but I can only know like one song that I wrote on it, and then nobody can judge me because I wrote it.
Because you did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of songs that you wrote, so you have currently 3 albums.
Sure, I think
You said 2 and a Christmas album, but I'm
Yeah.
calling it 3 because if they're all your work, I mean, this is awesome.
the Artificial Trees was just it was more singer-songwriter cover Christmas songs, you know.
So what?
It was
Isn't that what
easy
everybody does?
going. Yeah, absolutely. It was easy going, just acoustic guitar. I think I played some organ on there and some banjo and piano, and it came together well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The name of the last song that you
that
played?
one I think we'll call it Autumn's Mellow
You
Days.
have-
Yeah.
You didn't have a name?
So that song I probably wrote 2020 or 2019, something like that. And I was on a bicycle ride. It was early in the morning. The sun was coming out, but I was out on Keller Lane, I think, which is out past Ghost Hollow, South 36th. And boom, I was coming up the hill, and the sun's coming through the trees,
And
and
you
know
heard
how
it.
and I was like, that's it. Okay,
Really?
let's get home.
Do you
And
like
so
put it
then-
in your notes and
no
shit right away,
way.
or you just
I
like let it?
repeat the thing until it burns in my brain, and then
Yeah.
I try to go make it work on the guitar.
That's
you know?
impressive.
But,
Well, I would say it worked.
well,
Kudos
thanks.
to you.
Yeah, it was
I'm
beautiful.
glad I got to do that. Thank
I'm
you.
so
So
glad.
now, just real quick here, when you create or when you come up with songs, right? You write a song and you perform it for yourself, and so how do you go about even getting an album going? I don't even know how that works. You just like submit it all? or-
Well, I just record everything at home.
Okay.
And then there's plenty of websites that you can
You do like
go on
Spotify
you
and,
can-
like submit it? Or?
Yeah, if you go to certain publishing websites, you can get it all published, and then they'll send it out to Spotify or
Okay.
iTunes or Amazon Music or Google. I don't even know all the stuff. That's
So
out
can
there.
people find you? I guess is my question. Where would they
Um,
find you?
The best thing to do is probably send me a message on Facebook, and I'll just send you the music.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't. It used to be on there, and
So follow
online
Logan
to get
Kammerer on Facebook.
Right?
Plug.
Sure. There's one picture of me, and no, I don't know what's on
It
there.
really is only
But
about.
yeah,
Yeah, I
probably
think there's
one
only
picture.
I tried to do some stalking and
Yep.
it was not very conducive
Yeah,
to that. But
There's
I'm
no
fairly,
pictures of the past. Real
yes,
quick.
Yes.
Last
No.
thing.
Oh.
Yes, I will say I wore my
Yep.
drug rug.
Yeah.
That's
What
what
is
I'm
it like
calling it.
2020? No, what 2010? What was it? What era?
This
It might be
1999 maybe.
98 to 2004 or
Okay,
something
yeah.
like that.
So this
maybe,
is the
yeah.
Logan look from then,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know were dreadlocks then or when.
Oh, not until
The many looks of Logan
yeah,
Kammerer. We've
mid-
gone from
the midsection of 2000. I
You
think.
have
we've gone
had
from the
2005-ish.
super hippie look,
Yeah.
which you brought to the church with you, and you made people clap.
That's the
to
way you do
the
it.
to the now straight up Mr. Rogers.
That's what they tell me to wear to work. So
You know,
this
here's
is
the
what they tell
thing.
you to wear to work.
Oh, we
well, at
didn't
least
even
the
touch
tie,
on-
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a DJ.
DJ. Well,
Is
see,
it not a DJ? I don't even know what to
you
call it.
call
Okay.
it a DJ.
I'm calling
yeah.
it a DJ.
WGCA. I've been doing that for like 5 years.
You know
now or
what's
so,
messed
5,
up?
yeah.
I didn't know that, and
Until when?
I turned on
And he was on.
88.5 and heard this voice, and I was like, well, that sounds really familiar. And I texted Mackenzie, and I was like, is Logan a DJ?
We had him on here, or a different person from there on here, and then he was listing them off, and Logan.
Yeah, I was
one
like,
of 'em.
is Logan a, she's like, yeah, for like years. I was like, shit. But
Yeah.
anyway, you do amazing.
It's fun. Thanks.
Do you love it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I bet.
I'm still
Wait, they're
still
making
get to
you wear a
participate.
tie?
No, not there. No, I'm a legal assistant at Schmiedes Camp Robertson during the days.
Really?
So yeah, really,
All
and it's
right.
been just
man
as
of
long
many
doing
capes.
that.
I think we need another family reunion because
Man
this,
of many
I
cakes.
feel like I'm out of the loop here.
Oh, hey, no, I go to work and I go home.
Yeah.
And then the only time I leave my house outside of that is if somebody's like, "Hey,
You wanna
wanna
come
play
play?
music?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you wanna
Other
come
than
on
that,
Club Buddy?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or my kids have events, so we go do that.
Well,
That's my number one priority. Is kids
and your whole family has always been like that. I think that's why I respect. I mean, I say your family, our family.
Right.
When I look at, Laura and Chris and Kendall and Tom and all of your siblings, and there are so many people to name. You guys have always been upstanding, awesome people with amazing talent and so much to offer, not just with your talents, but also charitable giving. And of course, you're just really cool to talk to. So
Oh, I don't know.
thank you
You're
so much for
awfully
coming
Thank
on.
you for
kind.
being
Hey,
here
I know.
and being our first musical
Yeah,
guest.
thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So hyped.
I think we could do it again, and we'll do one of the here I'm gonna play a note, and then we'll play music for 20 minutes.
Can I get the tambourine?
And you guys can jam in. Yeah, you guys
I can get the
drum.
I think I can
What
do
do
a
I-
tambourine.
I'll do the triangle.
See, I think we can do this shit.
I think we
can do
can
it.
totally do it.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Hey, Logan, you are again one of my favorite people. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for
and
letting me.
good luck with everything you do in the future. Family, music, DJing. Shemitah's you are just a busy guy, and I didn't know any of it.
No, I'm
All right.
not.
Well,
I'm just
hey,
lucky.
keep on keeping on, and we love what you're doing. So keep it up.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks, Logan.
Yeah,
All
thank you.
right.